Hi there. This is a little bit of a departure from what you typically see from me. Normally you see me in grubbies and a Cobra. Talking about MacGyver's workshop. And I was chatting with my buddy Jim, Daddy Tech Ant, and he was talking about how I should try some road vlogging, and I was a bit hesitant, but I'll try anything once, twice if it doesn't kill me. And so he kind of talked me into it. I'll give it a whirl here because, frankly, he's a lot better at it than I am, I think, because I don't know what I can talk about for 30 some odd minutes or 15 minutes or what have you. But then again, you know, I don't get into talking about politics or personal things or drama or anything like that. So that leaves me with a relatively small palette to deal with. So, but I'll give it my best crack. So, needless to say, I'm leaving my house here. I spared you all the misery of going down my driveway. That would have been a very bumpy ride, as you would have seen in some of my videos where I'm in the truck, which just amplifies the effect. And so anyhow, I go from my house in Portland, Tennessee, which is right on the border of Kentucky, and I go up either. I have two locations that I reside at. I divide my time equally between them, and one's in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and one's in Franklin, Kentucky. And so I guess I can give you a little background if I need to figure something to talk about. There's a little bit of what's behind the MacGyver's workshop. So about MacGyver, where do I start? Well, it's an interesting past when you look back on it. I was born not far from where they filmed the HBO series The Sopranos in northern New Jersey, and then I was raised not far from where what was mentioned in the HBO series Boardwalk Empire. It's Mays Landing, and it's kind of funny when I think about it. But and I'm quite a contradiction in terms, because people always make fun of me, being from New Jersey, and I've heard all the jokes, the garbage state, and what exit you live off of, and all that, and I love it. I enjoy the heck out of it, and I'll play it up with people because it is what it is. I live in Tennessee now, okay, and when you tell people you're in Tennessee from New Jersey, well, you're just instantly stereotyped. So the fact that I drive a black Cadillac doesn't help that much, because I don't have any kind of particular leanings to where I want to play it up that much. It's just that I found the car, I liked it, and I bought it. It just so happens to be that it's a black Caddy. So, but and every now and then they'll make jokes. They'll need somebody to go bust somebody's kneecaps or something because they just don't do that in Tennessee. Everybody's too polite, but they will shoot you. I can definitely attest to that. But needless to say, I grew up with a very, very, very northern father. They were based out of South Philly, and they're roughly descended from the Romano family. And so, and my mother, she was from born in Rocky Mountain, North Carolina. So I'm this contradiction of terms in that I'm from New Jersey, but I'm also half Southern. So I can say y'all and how you doing at the same time. But so it kind of it helps me when I'm talking to people that I tell them my mother was born in the South. So I repented and moved to Tennessee to find my roots, and which I have very fond memories of New Jersey and growing up, but I really my life's path has bestowed upon me so many other things that while New Jersey is a fond memory, I wouldn't make it my life's mission to go back there and live there. I miss all my friends and all the folks that I grew up with. Some of them, I still am able to keep in touch with, and so it's wonderful. And what is this semi doing? Gracious. Anyway, so I was raised in New Jersey, and I had when I was about 17, I voluntarily went to summer school. I guess now you would call it an early grad program, to get all my credits for to graduate high school, and took my GED and joined the military. Because at the time, there just really wasn't much going there where I was living. I can't remember if Wheaton's had closed down by then or not, but job prospects weren't really that good unless you wanted to work in Atlantic City in casinos or something. And that, was hard to get into at that time because that's where everybody wanted to work. So, the mentality was, you don't want to do nothing, you don't want to do all this extra stuff, fine. I got a drawer full of resumes of people who do it and get lost. So I struck out in the military and to find my way in the world. And by the time I was legally old enough to drink, and at 21, I'd already been, halfway around Europe and been above the Arctic Circle and almost down to the equator. We almost made it. Didn't quite. We got turned around and had to go do something else. But, so I got my navy blue nose. Like I said, I almost got my shellback, but, it's, blue nose is where you go over the Arctic Circle, and then shellback's where you cross the equator. But, anyhow, then my life after the military, wasn't much that my training helped me with other than basic electronics. So when I got out of the military, I ended up falling back on my native skills, which ended up me being, quote, MacGyver, I was good with a wrench. I could fix cars, so I made a pretty good living as an auto mechanic for a good 10 years. So that was my life up to that point. I work in the field of information technology, and basically now I'm a assistant manager over help desk support team. And I kind of came up through the ranks back in the very early 90s or late 80s. I knew that being an auto mechanic wasn't going to be a long-term career, rewarding as it was, because it's always good when you can fix somebody's problem. And at the time it was mostly a job with no benefits, no vacation, no nothing. Unless maybe you worked for a dealer, but then there you worked for peanuts. So it was a give and take kind of thing. So I taught myself computers. I had a bit of an electronics background in the military where I did electronic warfare, but the training didn't do much for me on the outside unless I wanted to like fix VCRs or TVs or something, which we all know now that most of the time people don't get their TVs fixed or their VCR if they have one, or DVD player. You just chuck it out and go to Wally World and buy you a new one. So, but I was I'm a firm believer in the fates that connect you with people that are important to your path or your destiny, and no matter how bad it may seem sometimes, 10, 15 years down the road, you look back and you see the value in it and what it did for you, because the cold hard reality of it is that looking back, I was a mechanic working his butt off, killing his back, bent over the hood of a car that was getting more and more difficult to work on and being designed as such that an independent mechanic couldn't work on them, to where I am now, where I get to predominantly work in an air-conditioned space, and I get to wear nice clothes that don't get grease all over them, and while the hours can be a little crazy sometimes, it's still a very rewarding job. And getting back to the people that cross your path and fates thing, I met a person who back in the very, very early 90s who I became friends with, and I was sharing the fact that I was wanting to teach myself computers, and I was buying books and going to the library. And you have to remember, this is giving away my age here, but this is back in the day of the IBM PC and the XT, and we're just getting replaced with newer models. So she says, "Oh yeah," she says, "IT at my work is throwing away a bunch of old computers," and she got me an old IBM PC XT, I think it was, and a big old giant 5 1/4 floppy, and no hard drive, but or had the dual floppies, and I was able to teach myself computers, and I got lucky and got on the fledgling help desk that was starting up, and got on as a temp, and eventually got hired in full time, and my IT career started from there. And gradually worked my way up through the ranks to where I was a help desk tech, and eventually became a network admin, and network admin, sysadmin, which are technically different things, but people use the term interchangeably. I guess you could call me a sysadmin where I was before, because it was pretty much just everything was dumped on that position. It's like just fix it kind of thing, and that's from there I moved on to the position where I'm at now, where I don't do hardly any of the systems admin stuff, but I'm responsible for a team of technicians and the support that they provide to the users at multiple sites across 2 continents. So it can make for a long day sometimes, because when one of your offices is open when you're part of the time that you're sleeping, so it can be a challenge, but it's a very rewarding one. And so that's pretty much in a nutshell where and how I've got to where I am today. And where I'm going to go from here, I'm happy in my position that gives me the ability to also, with not having to kill myself physically on a job. It gives me the ability to do the things like I do with MacGyver's workshop, and I have a lot of fun with it. I enjoy making those videos. It takes me 10 times as long to get the thing done by making a video of it, and I know I could do the production value a lot better, but then again, that would just take that much more time to get done what I'm trying to do. And MacGyver's workshop is not a staged production. I don't sit there and say, okay, we're going to make a video about fixing the front end of a Boland's HD20 loader, like what I did fixing my loader. But anyway, I'll just do it on the fly as I'm doing things. So sometimes things get left out, and sometimes maybe the camera's shaky and all this, that, and the other. But it's as time goes on and we get past this house thing, which is really, really a big crunch time thing right now. I've got a hard deadline in November that I have to meet, and it's going to take a lot of work to get there and make that deadline. So you may not see videos for a while here and there, but that's it's the way it's going to have to be until I get this house done. But anyway, I think I burned up about 10 or 15 minutes here. That's pretty much the other side of MacGyver in a nutshell, and appreciate you watching.